If you were to ever have a marketing partner with you, what would you specifically look for in a digital marketing partner?
I think the biggest thing is helping someone keep their brand and message consistent across all platforms. Everything from your weekly newsletter to clients to the podcast to the Google ad to the LinkedIn posts. It all needs to work together. And, a lot of people can look to the presidential campaigns that are going on. The people that work on those campaigns behind the scenes that you never know who they are these digital marketers and brand specialists that work to keep the message tight. And it's not because you don't have a lot of things to say. It's more because if you're trying to be associated with being a center for financial advice, you can't also be talking about gardening products or something. It needs to be consolidated really effectively, because the old thing about sales is you got to tell them and then tell them what you told them and then tell them again. Yep. And people need a few different interactions and that consistency of approach before they'll start trusting you, right? And they're not just going to say, hey, I saw that you hung out a shingle on the street there and that you're a financial advisor, let me give you all my money.
Yeah.
That never happens.
And especially when you're doing it online, there has to be that know, like, and trust factor pre-built prior to them getting on a call with you.
Yeah. Like I've heard it be called trust stacking before. It is. It's just like you're building upon previous messages and they see that consistency. I think that's the biggest thing that people forget, because they just want to start, putting out all these different ideas they've got. I can tell you all the different things I know about the world of finance, and people don't really care about that stuff, right? They want to make sure that you're consistent in a steady hand that they can trust over a long period of time.
All right, John. So we are almost out of time here in no time. The final thoughts that I'd like from you would be like, what advice would you give to someone who is like starting out in the financial planning industry? What would be your 2 cents for them?
I'd say find a mentor as fast as you can. That was one of the biggest things that helped me early in my career. When I joined the full service brokerage side, I found a great mentor that had been in the business at that time about 25 years. He's still in the business today. And I learned so much in such a short period of time, and continued to try and find other mentors throughout my time to try and glean information off of. Because when you're really young in a business that's this complicated, you don't have the luxury of not knowing stuff. You have to try and accumulate knowledge as fast as humanly possible. And so read everything, completely immerse yourself in it, and find a good mentor that'll help, show you what really matters. Because it's not the Sharpe ratio of that ETF that you think matters. It's, how to talk to people, how to understand what they're actually saying to you. Yep. And that's probably the biggest learning that I ever got, was you just got to shut up and listen. Like, they'll tell you everything that you need to know if you just listen to them instead of trying to tell them all the stuff because they don't care about that.
I can absolutely be with you on that. Like, finding a mentor, this is the only way to cut your learning curve in half, whatever, or maybe even less than that. That's the only way to do it. So if you want to cut down your learning curve, everyone who's listening to this podcast, go find a mentor. John, my final question here for you would be today, what are your goals for the next year, both personally and professionally?
Personally, I've definitely got to get my golf handicap down. It's a little silly how high it still is, but I don't have a lot of time. We got kids and a million different activities and running a busy practice here. So from the practice standpoint, I'm looking to just consistently grow. I think that we're at about 3/4 capacity of our practice. And so we have room to get bigger, and I'm very excited about that. I'm hoping that our marketing efforts can continue to grow, and I'm very excited to have, a bunch more fun podcast guests. But I don't have a big, hairy, audacious goal. Maybe I should, but I'm not trying to quintuple my assets in a year or something like that. It's good, consistent growth. Yep. And on the personal side, just being able to stay healthy and be able to be there for my kids' activities.
And on the final note, if someone wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way to reach out to you?
Yeah, the best way is to reach out over helmfinancial.ca. You can contact us there. We've got our Calendly link right to our calendars. Email and phone number there is perfect. So yeah, just helmfinancial.ca.
Thank you so much, John, for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure hearing your insights and experiences. And for our listeners, if you're interested in learning more about growing your own financial planning business or need support with digital marketing or recruitment campaigns, feel free to reach out to us. We specialize in helping professionals like John achieve their growth goals. I'll hopefully see you on the next episode.